Yes, we're back at it again, smelling the smell of supersonic flight going faster than the speed of sound at Mach 1.2. Yes, the supersonic smell that we can finally smell again in the next 10 years. Yes, I'm pretty sure we have seen all the very big announcement from United Airlines because they announced their partnership with the supersonic boom aircraft, which is right here. I've made a dedicated video about that. Very big and good news. You know, finally some good news from United Airlines. You know, just reusing that United Airlines joke, by the way. I mean, they even posted about this on their TikTok page, and I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna show this to you guys on the channel, but I wanna die. But no, but really, the boom overture supersonic plane, very nice news. Again, dedicated video, that's a whole other story. We're just gonna have to wait for this one. But today let's talk about something different, because there have actually been a lot of other, of course, supersonic concept planes. Yes, after all, this boom overture aircraft is also still a concept to happen in the next 10 years. There have been some other ones too, and especially private supersonic planes, like this Russian Tupolev Tu-444. Again, a private supersonic plane. Yeah, this Concorde-looking private jet was a concept made in the early 2000s, and it died out in like 2012. Yes, this concept is really out of the radar. This is also another video I've made. Yeah, you know, Tupolev just deleted the whole plane basically, also from their website. It was a very interesting story. But yeah, a supersonic private jet in itself is not a very bad idea, and especially an idea that has not happened before. We've not seen a supersonic private jet before. I mean, really, only the supersonic civilian planes that we have seen before is maybe the Tupolev Tu-144, or again, the Concorde, which hasn't been flying for like 18 years. Oh wow, it's crazy to think about that. But this private jet idea actually is really smart. You know, the main problem of supersonic flying so far has been pretty much pricing and profitability. Yeah, let me just put it this way. You know, flying supersonic and quickly is very expensive and all that stuff. You know, the previous planes like the Concorde just ate fuel with the afterburners like that. And also, the Concorde was not very big, and, you know, it couldn't fit so many seats, and it was very uncomfortable inside, but very expensive. Basically the reason because it died. But of course, there is rich people on the planet that have private jets anyway, right? And, you know, I'm talking billionaires, and they don't really care about paying the extra penny to fly something like this. The, you know, Tupolev 444, for example. A plane that can bring them to their destination much quicker than, I don't know, their global challenger, right? You know what I'm talking about? There is actually a good idea behind this. Which is, why it is so interesting why this plane completely failed, but that's another story. Now, besides the Tupolev 444, there has been a much more modern concept airplane. And let me just say, that concept airplane does not exist anymore as a concept. Very recent news, too. Now, of course, I'm talking about the Aerion, a plane that we also have got as a model here in the flight simulator, because duh. I mean, it's really just nice to be able to, you know, try to fly out all these aircraft here. Yep, this is the Aerion As2. Actually, we do have quite a nice model here. This is what the cockpit looks like. Obviously not what the finished product would have looked like. Not quite sure. Should we use past tense for this one? Let me actually just use present tense. Pretend like this is not a problem. As you can see, this is a cabin here. We have a painting. But no, this is the Aerion As2. Now, for starters, let me just first of all say this plane should have been flying by 2003. According to Aerion, that they said this in 2018. So, in 3 years, this plane would have been flying. Now, this supersonic private jet does look a little bit different from all the other concepts we've seen before. You know, all the other concept planes have had delta wing designs, which allows them to go fast. But this one does not. Yeah, these wings are very, very interesting, almost like we have never really seen before, very wide. There is one thing that this Aerion plane did want to change, because one of the other major problems of the Concorde and the Tupolev 444 and any plane that went supersonic or has gone supersonic so far is, of course, the sonic boom that you experience when flying at supersonic speeds. You know, it's just that something that happens when you fly faster than the speed of sound. It's just very loud. Even though you're flying at like 50,000 feet, you will still hear a deafening noise on the ground. Let me just put it this way, okay? Crazy loud, okay? That was basically the main problem again of the Concorde, other than the pricing, not being able to fly over land, only over oceans where there's not people living that could be disturbed by a very loud noise. So, but yeah, really, this plane could only fly really transatlantic or trans-Pacific. This is, by the way, also a problem of the Overture plane, the Boom Overture. We're just like, okay. I mean, the only thing the Overture plane really fixes, or is going to fix, is really the thing about fuel efficiency, but that's another story. Now, this plane with those wings wants to exactly change that. They want to, you know, reduce the sonic boom, maybe even remove it in its entirety. That was a big stroke, I'm sorry. But you get what I'm saying, right? Great. Yeah, they wanted to make a plane that is able to fly supersonic speeds over land, which would make a big difference, right? Yeah, actually, you know, this was a really, really promising sounding concept. Now, let me just go ahead and fly it here at 57,000 feet. The normal cruising altitude, which was, you know, made for this plane here. Let's go ahead and put on the autopilot here so that I don't have to do anything anymore. That's just great. Hold the heading here. Now we're flying at Mach 1.8, which is slightly above the actual, you know, speed that this plane should have been flying at. I shouldn't use past tense, right? That's what I was saying. Whatever. But really, the max speed for this plane was actually supposed to be Mach 1.3, which is, again, still plenty fast. The Concorde could actually fly at like 2 Mach, which is a bit faster, really. But that's sort of the story. I mean, supersonic is still supersonic. Still way faster than any Bombardier, even though that's also a fast plane, the Challenger. But that's another story. I mean, you know, this, even a few months ago, looked to be a very interesting concept. Indeed, a lot of investors, apparently a lot of potential customers, you know, ordering already their aircraft. I mean, we can also look at the website of Aerion. Here's what it looks like. It still looks like this, even though, again, the concept itself is dead. Let's more on that later. But yeah, this is looking very good. Even the news page, everything here is alive and well. Aerion going near hypersonic with the AS3, which was supposed to be the next generation of the AS2, which is interesting. I mean, why are they already talking about the AS3 when the AS2 hasn't even come out? Come on, you guys. Oh, damn. Mach 4 airliner for 50 passengers? Damn. That's by 2027. Wow. And actually, again, this was posted in April 2021. Damn. Yeah, you know, I made a video about this plane last year, being very excited. Me, as a billionaire, of course, because of all the YouTube monies, was going to buy a plane like this, of course, too. But then last week, there were some interesting big news. Bad news. No, not United bad news, but Aerion bad news. Status cancelled. Yes, they cancelled this plane. Not because it tweeted anything offensive or anything. It was because they ran out of money, apparently, right? I mean, there's not too much here on Wikipedia, at least. It just says development stopped when Aerion ceased operation in May 2021. Again, very much surprising news. But yeah, they say shut down. The company said it was unable to raise enough capital, which is very sad. How am I supposed to now get from New York to London in 3.5 hours? This is a really, really, really pretty plane. How have we not talked about this? I mean, this is actually, I think, one of the most beautiful planes ever. Look at the pointy designs and everything. I mean, not very well comparable with something like an Airbus Beluga or something. Welcome back to us. Okay, let's try to come in for our landing here on the 600-meter long runway. This is another thing, of course, important for me as a billionaire who wanted to buy this plane, and we're dying. The runway performance, and we're dying. Great. Looking good. Let's go ahead and now stop. Good, that hasn't particularly worked out. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This plane is a dead concept too anyway. Well, this is the sad part about money. It just does exist, and it's needed to build this kind of plane, and when it's not there, then it's not there. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now thinking about my members here on YouTube like Block, Emite, Mubarak, Mike, Ethan, Darren, Stefan, Ian, Oman the Human, Rafael Burkowski, Junk in the Trunk, Moritz, Toby, Great Grandpa John, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, New York, Tyler Park, Cheese Doritos, Shadow, Anime Planes 001, Exponential Deslama, featuring Kellen, Me By You, Captain Cameron, Spiro, Gary, Norwegian, Bajel, and Parology.